Hello everyone, I'm Jerry Tabatt with another edition of our military community. We got a good one today. We're going to be talking about Tyndall Air Force Base, and a lot of people in the community still don't know about Tyndall as far as are they just for military? Can civilian population get into them or what? But there's a lot of different things at Tyndall that we need to talk about. So I got two experts with me today. And joining me first of all is Larry Bailey, who is the regional branch manager, and Matt Imel, who is the a mortgage origination supervisor. So thanks for coming in today, guys. I appreciate it. A lot of things to talk about. First of all, Larry, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Larry Bailey, of course. I've been with Tyndall for over 20 years now, and when I say the number out loud, it doesn't seem real. But I'm a proud graduate here at Bay County District Schools, and started through an internship with Tyndall many years ago, and then continued my career into the regional manager I am today. So proud native, Tyndall first and only job I've ever held, so I'm very passionate about it. I'm happily married to my beautiful wife Serena, and I have 3 lovely children with 1 on the way.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So my household is busy. It's very busy, but you know, with everything I enjoy and love doing, serving our community, I think, you know, working with Tyndall Federal Credit Union allows us to align our goals.
Yeah. Matt, what about you?
I've a little different, less tenure. I've been with Tyndall for 5.5 years. I started off in the mortgage department. I'm the mortgage origination supervisor as of right now. And my father actually got stationed at Tyndall Air Force Base about 13, 14 years ago. So first step into the financial industry is mortgage right after I bought my first house. So there's a little bit of a passion behind that, going through the experience as a first-time home buyer after Hurricane Michael came through. But I'm also married, very happily, 3 beautiful children, none on the way. Yeah, it's a privilege to be able to offer what I might have not have received during my first time purchasing a home, and give that back.
And we're going to get into all that now, but wait a minute, Matt, there's a little bit of an English accent there.
Yeah, born and raised in England, been moving back and forth, like I said, military child. My dad was US Air Force, so we moved back and forth quite often.
Well, again, thank you both for getting here. We were talking before the show. Larry, you said you watched me when I was on TV and everything. But Tyndall has a huge history, and what a lot of people don't know is that Tyndall just didn't magically appear.
We didn't.
The first office was at Tyndall Air Force Base itself in 1956. Tell me about the history.
Listen, our history is deep rooted in this community. I mean, we originally were established for the military family right at Tyndall Air Force Base, but we had such a huge outreach and outpour that we extended our membership base out to our community. So if you live, work, worship, or have immediate family with Tyndall in Northwest Florida or Southern Alabama, you qualify for membership. And so we keep our Tyndall name loud and proud because we know where we originated from, and we know who we are.
And that is something that we cleared that up right away, and I'm glad we did, because a lot of people still ask me today, Jerry, how can I get over there to Tyndall? It's only for you military people. And I said, no. You just go talk to you guys. And you're of course wide open to any suggestions from the community on that. But there's so many different services at Tyndall itself. Again, you take care of our military. I mean, yes, you take care of the civilian customers you have too, but there's some unique things that military families have that a lot of our civilian counterparts don't have. First of all, you got to be able to transfer your account. There's not, you said you're born over there in England and everything. You never know if you're going to go from the States to, say, Germany, France, Tokyo, Japan, or places like that. So you need to have that done. There's so many different fees involved, the military programs. Matt, what kind of different programs do you have and everything that are specifically geared towards the military family?
So, speaking from the mortgage side, VA mortgage loans. That's going to be most specific that I can really speak to when it comes to a program that's available to our active duty veterans. And one of the biggest questions that I actually receive from them is, do you do VA mortgage loans, or can you originate those? And I get those questions too. Is it just for veterans or active duty military?
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that, because I do have a couple of questions for you on mortgages. But Larry, because the community is changing so fast, because the world is changing so fast with technology, military families, if they leave the States and go overseas, that same technology is still available to them.
It is. So, and just to piggyback a little bit on the products that we offer to our military family, we have a first-term military loan that's specifically designed for our active military families. When it comes to them purchasing their first automobile, or some of the younger ones love the motorcycles. I used to be a motorcycle enthusiast myself. And then we offer our credit cards as well at a low rate. We have a lot of products that are designed for our active military and programs specifically for them, so we can establish and build their financial goals and career.
Go ahead.
Sorry, but with our digital platform and services, we have an amazing online banking system. You literally can do everything from your fingertips on the computer or your device.
Right.
As you know, we transition to this digital age and this digital world that we're going into. We have the software available to assist you if you move overseas or to a different state. You can still remain a member.
And the good thing about that is, and let's face it, a lot of people, the military, when they join the credit union, maybe their first assignment here, and they say, oh geez, now what do? I got this, this, and this. But you guys actually have, if they have questions, you got different educational resources that you can send them to, or go talk to them personally to help them out.
We actually show up to a lot of the in-processing events that they do with a lot of the new people PCSing, whether this be their very first base or their seventh. So I've personally been a part of that.
And it makes them feel like they're wanted too, and that's one of the things that makes Tyndall so unique to our military community. And well, like I say, I'm not afraid to say it. I've been a member of Tyndall since 1979, and I've seen it grow. It used to be all you had was a check, and if you wanted any cash, you couldn't get any cash downtown. You have to go to the branch office and draw the cash out of your account. So everything is changing, but at the same time, even though it's changing, you're making people feel more and more secure about the banking. And that's one thing, and maybe you can answer that question, Larry, is a family goes overseas, and now it's pretty much they can use credit cards overseas. A lot of the overseas areas that take this. How can they be assured that their Tyndall or their Tyndall Federal Credit Union debit card or credit card is as safe overseas as it is here in the States?
Absolutely. So we serve over 114,000 members proudly. So our members, our community is, we put them first in every decision we make. So when it comes time for any of our families to move, regardless if it's to a different state or overseas, the software that's available for them and the communication, I mean, you can message us through our online banking system if you're unable to get to a phone. We have a dedicated call center that is available to answer those phone calls for all of those needs. And 9 out of 10, we catch it. If there's fraud or something happens, an unusual transaction, we generally catch it before you even know it happens. That's how hard our staff is working to ensure security and reliability for all of our members, specifically our overseas members as well.
And I know I've been on vacation a few times, and you spend money at a different place in a different state, and I've gotten a text almost immediately from Tyndall saying,
hey, was this you? We want to know before we allow it to go through.
These credit cards and debit cards that we have now, you have changed the whole system on this. You're now going to the tap kind.
That's right. We're very proud of those tap cards.
Now, I got that information, and thankfully they give you 6 months to do the transfer over so you can get everything squared away. But I was under the impression that they're just as good as the card I have now. But you said right now they may be, but you're changing everything.
Well, they still offer the same level of security, if not added security, right? Because as we move to this digital age, where everything is at the tip of your fingertips, we make sure that those cards are designed to prevent others from touching the cards. You now can walk up to a merchant and tap the card, which is way easier. And when that happens, it allows us to have an added security feature inside of there for that added protection. We changed the color a little bit more on the card. We still have the chip for insertion. And with those tap cards, it's really, really neat is that you don't have to worry about someone else touching your card to make a payment, right? You're not handing it over to the person. You're able just to tap it and securely place it back into your wallet so that it can prevent any type of fraud from occurring.
So even with that tap card, you can still insert it, and if you want money, if you want to get cash back off a purchase, you can still type in your PIN number.
You can still go through the same format, just added security.
Good deal on that. All right. Before we get into the mortgages, I do want to ask you here, Larry, about checking accounts. A lot of people now, you go someplace and they don't say, will it be cash or check? Now it's, will it be charge or cash? Is checking, writing a physical check out, is that kind of starting to go by the wayside now that we advance into technology here, which probably could be better for people overseas?
Right. So as generations are evolving, right, in this world of just busyness and constant going, you're not seeing the check as much. You're seeing more something called bill pay, right? You're allowing your financial institution to send off those payments for you and on your behalf.
Right.
And so by us having that ability, you can now pay your power bill by logging onto your online banking, going into your bill pay service and scheduling for it to go out. Yep. You no longer have to order checks or worry about the check being lost in the mail. We take care of that with our system that we have for you on your behalf.
Good deal. And if you, of course, if something happens, like if say you're getting your mortgage payment paid that way.
Right.
If you sell your house or something, all they got to do is go on to Tyndall's account and get your information in there, and you'll stop the automatic withdrawal.
That is correct. Account, right? That's correct. And I know you, just to piggyback on the cards, I know one of your concerns was, I have automatic payments coming off the cards I have. Just know that we have representatives available that can help you through that process.
Yeah.
Or if you or help you set it up.
Yeah, because
you have us there to help you with those things.
Because see, that's the thing. When I got mine, I looked at them. I mean, the numbers and everything are totally different. And if you try to pay one with that, they say, "Wait a minute, this number doesn't match your payment refused." You know. So yeah, that's a good deal on that. We'll take care of it. All right, Matt, go. What do we need to know about the mortgage process at Tyndall Federal Credit Union? Let's say, for example, I want to buy a home. I'm a young airman, just come to the area and everything. What do I need to do?
Well, first thing is going to be a consultation, not even starting with an application, pulling credit or anything like that. It's going to be a consultation with a mortgage professional. Not one size fits all when it comes to mortgage loan. We have some members that are concerned about lowering their payment, low closing costs, low down payment, and or all three. So we offer VA mortgage loans, USDA, FHA, which are the government loans, and then we also have an array of conventional mortgage programs, specifically portfolio to us that we offer. Some offer a slightly lower interest rate, but it's going to start with that open conversation about what your concerns are, whether or not this is your first time purchasing a home, if it's going to be a vacation home, rental property. There are a lot of variables that come into play. And
then also, of course, you probably work with the account services and everything too, because you guys got to make sure that they're verifiable and everything. And
correct.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you before we get into different types of mortgages is, do you give mortgages for mobile homes?
That is one thing that we cannot do. Yeah.
Is there a specific reason for that? I mean, and there's a difference between a mobile home and a manufactured home.
Right.
So if it's on the chassis, mobile and manufactured, technically the difference is the age. So I think it's pre-1972 for the mobile. Anything after that is manufactured, and it's all based on what HUD sort of specifies as a manufactured or mobile home, the title to that mobile home is completely separate to the title of the land. That's where the lending aspect of it can get a little bit tricky. Some local lenders that do mobile homes will actually require the title of that mobile home and the land to be combined for a certain period of time in order for them to even issue a mortgage on it.
All right, so we decided that we want this house and everything here, and then we go in and we get the consultation and services. How do you determine for that military member what the best type of loan is for that individual?
So I've had veterans and active duty military come into me and not even go the VA route. Obviously, the VA mortgage loan is going to be probably the first one that we sort of go over and discuss and talk about, especially for the newer enrolled and enlisted, just because it's a 0% down payment. But getting an idea on what type of home is going to fit their family's needs or their personal needs, and aligning that with a estimated purchase price, and then working backwards from there, getting an idea on what that payment looks like. The location, is that important to them? Is it in an HOA? What are the property taxes going to look like? How old is the home, and is that going to impact insurance? And then the appraisal, inspection, survey, everything that goes into it. It's a lot of information, so we do like to reiterate that in written communication as well, so that they're fully aware of.
In today's market, Matt, what are you recommending? Are you recommending a fixed mortgage or a fixed loan rate or a variable one?
So like I said, one size doesn't fit all. It's all going to come down to what that member needs at the time. If my first time purchasing home was right after Hurricane Michael, I needed to get into something quick, so I probably would have jumped at anything. But having a mortgage professional walk them through and guide them through what's going to best suit them based on what they're telling us, that's what makes the difference. So I don't have one specific mortgage loan that I suggest.
And I think Matt speaks heavy on how we at Tyndall value our members, right? Because it's not about putting them in a specific product that we want to push. It's what benefits that family. What is their loan goal? How can we achieve those goals? And in order to know that, we have to start backwards. Where do you see yourself? We all want the big house, but let's break it down into taxes and insurance and payments, and then your other utility bills that go into it. So there's other things that go into play before we push down a product or service towards you. We want to know what it is, what is your goals, and how can we as Tyndall help you achieve those.
And it's very difficult because we know with the military that there's so many misconceptions out there that people think, oh, well, you get this quarters allowance, you want to buy a house, they'll pay you to do that. And no, that doesn't go that way. It doesn't work that way. You get a certain amount. And that's one thing. What would you generally say, let's say for a young person in the military services that makes $3,000 a month?
So
what kind of a mortgage are we talking here? Because at $3,000 a month, you can't afford to go and buy a $35,000 or $350,000 home.
That's true.
And that's where that conversation is going to sometimes be not necessarily harsh, but very blunt and to the point.
You make it real.
Yeah, exactly. This is what the reality looks like for you. This is what you're wanting, but not necessarily something that's feasible at this time. It's always, if it's a no right now, it's going to be, okay, what can we do to make this a yes? And that's where a lot of, Larry could probably speak to a lot of the other programs that we have, but the credit building loan.
That's one of the things I was going to get, and you can read my mind. Is a lot of times you don't qualify immediately for your loan, and you get all discouraged and everything, and say, oh yeah, here we go again. I joined the service and I can't even buy me a house. But you have these services, Larry, where you can talk to people and show them what they can do and how they can build up that credit. And really, it's not as difficult as people think it is.
Correct. I mean, our credit builder loan is so simple, right? That new airman that's coming in, it just wants to establish credit history. This loan allows us to place funds in their savings account. We hold it for the duration of the loan period. And then as they make those payments, by the end of it, they have now established a credit history with a credit score. And then they also also have saved, right? Because that money is now available to them as they paid it back. So there's different products and services. Our military, active military first program loan, that one there allows someone with no credit history for us to sit down and say, what is your goal? I need a car for my family. Right. We all want that fancy car. We want that souped up Lamborghini. But realistically, what does your family look at? You're a married husband of 2 with no credit and you just joined the military.
Right.
You may not need to go that route. You may have to get more of a small SUV or a minivan or something that's going to be more conducive to your family. That's what we do. We educate. Financial literacy is at the grounds of us when we come to the community. Is we have to educate, because what happens is they go to the dealerships or they go sit with someone else who's like, I have a goal to meet. I have a productivity goal to meet, and I'm going to sell you whatever I can. And next thing you know, they're stuck in a high interest loan, and they don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah, and that's the thing where, and I can personally attest to the counseling services that are available. And I'll mention the name, Ron Bass. Everybody knows Ron Bass over at Tyndall. He was at Tyndall Air Force Base. When I first joined Tyndall in '79, Ron sat down with my wife and I, and he says, look, this is what you got now coming in. This is what you got going out. This is what I can help you do, this, this, and this. Let's work on this, this, and this. And it was more like, they're not treating you like, well, I'm your banker, you listen to me. They're treating you like you're a human being, like you're part of the family. And that's the thing that impresses a lot of people, especially these young airmen. It doesn't make any difference what branch. I always say airmen because I'm Air Force, but
of course,
when they first come in and come to a place like Tyndall and they want to do stuff, they have no idea what they're doing, because most of them were just left home, and then they have the family and they build it and all that. So,
and our credit unions, we're not for profit, right? We're member owned. We're member owned. So when you come,
I like those dividends, by the way.
We love our give back time. So definitely, if you're not a member, this is the time. But we're member owned. We're member focused. We're community driven. We do the right thing. We care for our community. We value our mission. It's not just words on a screen or words on a shirt or words on a paper. We value who we are. And in order to do that, we have to know that our members are our bosses. You guys pay our salaries. So it's only right that we don't have stakeholders or shareholders. We're not fed in the pockets of our CEOs. Or what happens is that money, when we have too much money, it goes back into your pocket through our give back, through our low loan rates, through the programs we're able to offer, and the high dividend certificates that we're able to offer as well. So there's a lot of products and services.
And that's what's so good about it. Matt, let's say that, I've talked with Larry and I got my finances in shape, and I've talked to you, and between the two of you and everything, I've determined that, it's good. You said I qualify for a home. What's the normal turnaround process from once everything is done, the inspections and all of that? What's the normal turnaround process from the time that you say, yes, I accept this, to the time they move in?
So it really is going to depend on how fast you can get under contract to purchase a home. Most contracts are 30 to 45 days, and we follow that to the T.
Now, do you recommend, I don't know if you recommend that or you, Larry, but do you recommend putting your homeowner's insurance and your taxes on your home mortgage, so that escrow account, whatever your taxes and insurance will be, that's sent to your mortgage company, and they automatically take those taxes and insurance out? So
that's a great question, but as Matt stated, every situation's different. If you can financially afford to do that, then absolutely there's no need to do escrow. But if you're one who's like, I don't really know, I'm still building my savings, I'm still working towards my goals, you paying that amount of money out of your pocket per year wouldn't probably be beneficial to much as having it included in your mortgage.
Personally, I don't want to worry about it. Let my lender take care of it.
Let them handle it.
That's me too. That's me too. I just go ahead, send the bill to them. But anyway, before we go on to something else, I want to do this. I'm already getting short of time, but that's okay. VA mortgages. How closely do you work with the VA, and can Tyndall Federal Credit Union guarantee a VA mortgage?
Yes. So we work very closely with the VA. All of our VA mortgage loans are, they sort of go hand in hand. We originate them, but we partner with the VA directly to make sure that process moves along smoothly. The appraisal process is VA specific. The VA provides us with the appraisers, and then we have representatives at the VA if we need anything reviewed specially specific for certain types of situations and scenarios. So.
And one thing that I know, I went through this when I bought my first house in Arizona, is the VA inspections are tougher than a lot of other inspections. So if you have a VA loan, that mortgage company knows that they're on. Okay, very quickly, I want to sell my home. Can I get out of that mortgage by just selling that home and then pick up the contract, or I'm responsible for a certain part of it? It used to be the VA years ago. When you sold that home, if you had the original VA mortgage, if the person you sold it to, if they forfeited it, you had to pick it back up again.
So if you're referring to assuming that VA mortgage,
right,
that is doable. But when a lot of veterans or military that don't know this is, when they do that, your entitlement that you use to purchase that home stays put. So that may limit you to purchase a new one. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's all going to depend on the specifics.
But that's where they need to come and talk to you, and you can help them get that all straightened out in there and everything. All right. We've talked a lot about the services there and mortgages. But one thing Tyndall does, they're very active in the community. What are some things you guys do? You sponsor a lot of different things over there.
We do. And if you're looking for sponsorship, definitely visit our website and apply through our community grants. But we offer so many benefits. I mean, even to our own staff, you know, we pay our staff to go out in the community, and we want them to be a face to educate, because what happens is a lot of people are scared to come into the credit union world, right, into the banking industry. So we need to get out to them so that they don't make impulse decisions and put themselves in positions that take quite years to come out of.
And for some reason, people have that mental block, like, federal credit union, like federal government's checking my credit. It's just, that's the name.
Listen, when you file your taxes, the government has everything they need to have at that time. I don't think they're worried too much, you know, about what you're spending if you're going to Kohl's or Amazon. I don't think that's the play. But we're a place of safety and haven and education.
I want to get this in before we have to wrap it up, but started in Tyndall, one office in 1956. You're now expanding even out of state.
We are. We're in southern Alabama. But not only that, as you go to this digital world, we are in the digital platform. So we have a Tyndall First account that is amazing for those folks who don't live in the community anymore, but yet still love our services. We offer great rewards. That's part of that product. I mean, as we move into this digital age, we still have branches in brick and mortar. I manage those branches. So I love the branches, but also I love our digital platform and how we are involving into that world.
And like you said, if it wasn't for the people, you wouldn't have a job. Okay, we got 2 minutes to go. 45 seconds to wrap it up. Each one of you get 45 seconds. Your final thoughts.
Okay. To the person who's unsure, to the person who don't know where to start or where to begin, visit one of our locations, come into our community or into our branches, call us over the phone, just have the conversation, start there. We are deeply rooted in the community and into service. We value our members, we value your time. We're here to educate you. We want to give you all of the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to your financial future, because you matter to us.
We couldn't do what we do without our community or our members. I know I personally can speak for my team. We love what we do. We love who we do it for and the community and the members that we serve.
And don't be afraid to talk to you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
pick up the phone, call us.
That's it. That's it. And again, with the digital banking, it's 24/7.
It is.
And there's a lot of questions now about housing out there, the way housing is getting so expensive. Go see Matt over here. He can tell you whether or not you should lease a home or you should buy it outright or lease the home. So different things, but they've got to talk to you.
Absolutely.
Larry Bailey, Matt Imel, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Unfortunately, we are out of time again today. This 30-minute interview just keeps going by quickly every time. But I did want to talk to you today about Tyndall, and you can see now they're not only for our military, but they're also for the community itself, and our civilian community is just as important. But remember, Tyndall Federal Credit Union started out at Tyndall Air Force Base, and it's going to continue to grow. Go see them. They got branch houses all over. They're on the beach. They're in southern Alabama. They're still at Tyndall Air Force Base. They will take care of you because they don't own it. you own that credit union and take advantage of the services. Thank you very much for joining us today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week with another edition of our Military Community. Have a great day, everyone.